Welcome to ClickSeminars.Live. Keep learning, keep earning in 2020 and beyond. And now let's get ready for our next speaker session starting now. Welcome everybody back to ClickSeminars.Live, and this is the second session on the first day, exciting first day of ClickSeminars.Live. Boy, have we got a great presentation about social media. And let me tell you about our next presenter. That is Paul Omani. Paul Omani is an entrepreneur, 4 times best-selling author, and a Guinness World Record-holding public speaker specializing in digital marketing, mindset, and wealth management. He's a columnist for the Sunday Independent and Examiner newspapers and has multiple companies where he supports thousands of clients worldwide. His Rethink brand focuses on empowering ordinary people to lead extraordinary lives with special focus on children and teens. Paul is a highly sought-after international speaker as he has unique insights into mindset and marketing and provides outstanding clarity for his audiences as how to improve their business and their financial well-being. So I would like to invite right now to the virtual stage here of ClickSeminars.Live, Mr. Paul Omani. Paul, are you there?
I am, Mike. Can you see me okay?
I can see you. I can hear you. It looks like you're living the laptop lifestyle on holiday or something. So
you can say that. I'm on holidays right now, on vacation.
Well, that's awesome. And you know what? You're able to convey your information from anywhere in the world. All you need is a laptop and an internet connection, and you can do your world and you can do your magic. So enough of what I got to say. I'd like you to get right into your presentation. And would you like me to pull up your slides right now, or would you like to talk about it?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be perfect, Mike.
Okay. Well, here's your slides. Here's your presentation. And Paul, the virtual stage is yours.
Well, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jason. Thank you guys for being here right now listening to this live. In case it looks a little bit dark here, it's actually beautiful outside. It's 35 degrees Celsius. It's so bright that I've actually had to close the curtains down and put some lights on me. So that's it looks like it's nighttime here, but it's actually middle of the day. But the most important thing to focus on is not so much me, it's focus on the slides. So let me ask you a question right now. How many of you right now, for you, is it difficult for you, or do you think it's difficult for you to make money online? I mean, that's what this conference is about, Click Seminars Live. So how many of you for right now, it's tricky for you or it's difficult for you? Just type into the chat, please. The more engaging you are, the better it's going to be for me. So just type in yes or Y for yes if it's tricky for you right now to make money online. And the second question I have for you is, how many days is it since you purchased something online? How many days is it since you bought something online? If you bought something today, type in 0. If you bought something yesterday, type in 1, and so forth. Type in 2 if it was 2 days ago. I'm just looking at the chat here. Okay, so it looks like a lot of you thought, yes, it's difficult to make money online for me right now, but more of you have actually proven something to me. You've proven this, that you're already excellent at making money online, because you've been buying stuff online for the last few days, the last few weeks, the last few months. The problem is you're making that money for somebody else. You're a professional at making money online, but just happens to be for somebody else, right? Who would like to turn that around? Who would like to have that money coming into your bank account rather than going out of your bank account? Type in me. If that's you right now, type in me. Because it's time to stop wasting time online. Well, it's time to stop wasting time online, and it's time to start earning money for you rather than others. That is what this presentation is about. And that's what I want to share with you right now in this presentation. So just bear with me here 1 second. Mike, if you don't mind just taking the camera off for a couple of moments so that I adjust something here, that would be great. I'd appreciate it.
And while Paul adjusts that, just be aware that you're going to hear a little bit of silence because to take, well, I can put him back like this. This way you can hear Paul if I go to his slides. Paul, your audio should work here
Okay. Yeah, just one moment, Mike. Just have a technical challenge here. I'll fix it.
All right. Well, we're standing by, everybody. We're going to be exciting to hear this presentation. And more importantly, Paul, just you get situated there, and then I'll turn the camera back on. And in television, you don't like to have silence, so that's why I'm talking while Paul gets a few things adjusted here. So stand by. Stop wasting time. Start earning money with rethinking social media.
Okay, Mike, I think we're good again now. If you want to check.
All right.
Oh, yeah, that's even better.
Okay, floor is yours.
Thank you. Okay, so that being said, looks like you're all professional at making money online already. Well, why is that? Because of this device, the addiction of society, the smartphone, right? Why is this such an important device in today's society? Well, quite simply, almost the entire planet are addicted to them. There are more phones on the planet than people right now. Just think about that. There are more phones on the planet than people. Right? That's pretty incredible to consider. What device woke you up this morning? Your phone. What do we carry around with us all day long? Our phones. What do we bring with us to bed at nighttime? What's the last thing we do at nighttime? We sit down at the side of the bed and we plug in our phone. We want to make sure our phone is charging. We couldn't care less if our partner is charged first thing in the morning, but we absolutely hate the idea of starting the day with a phone with less than 30% battery charge. That's the world that we live in today. It's crazy, but everybody's doing it. Now, why this is such a huge opportunity for you over this entire week and this training, and especially this one, is because right now, this device is acting as people's number one liability. What do I mean by that? Well, a liability is anything that takes money out of people's accounts, while an asset is anything that puts money into people's pockets. So right now, for most people, the iPhone or the smartphone is taking money out of people's pockets and also taking precious time out of their lives. But at the same time, it could be worth its weight in gold to you. It could become your number one asset, not only putting more time back into your life, but actually more money into your pocket. Type in yes if you would love to be in that situation, that you can take this one device that you have right now and turn it around from sucking your time and your energy and your money and your focus into something that will do the opposite. It will bring you more time, more energy, and bring more money into your life. Okay, fantastic. I can see lots of you. Well, that's exactly what this is about. Right now, for most people, their phone is looking for their time, their focus, their energy, their money. We got to turn that whole thing around. And in today's world, when people are panicking left, right, and center, I've been saying it for years. It's time you got online, right? Right now, when everyone's panicking, look at, this is one particular website of ours. The last 7 days, 204,000. Last 4 weeks, 552,000. Last 12 months, 1.59 million. And this one, last 4 weeks, 70,000. Last 12 months, 2.14 million. Now, this isn't to impress you. This is just to show you real life what's happening mid-corona. So I took these readings from a particular ClickFunnels account that we have just to show you what's happening when everybody else is telling you it's time to get scared, it's time to get worried, it's time to get nervous. In July, $232,000. In June, $241,000. In May, mid-pandemic, $578,000. April, $493,000. Funnily enough, March, at the start of the pandemic, $61,000. February, $329,000. Who would like to start to see how they can inject even a fraction of this into their lives? Right? Type in me again if you would love that, right? This type of money per month is what people would dream about winning the lottery, right? There's no point in dreaming anymore. The difference between a dream and a goal is having a plan. Let's put a plan together. Let's not leave anything to luck or to fortune anymore. Let's just go and do this right away. So who is this for? Those of you that have a business already, you know you need social media, even though you may not like it. Those of you that want to be an influencer, you want to share your message, you have something to say, you're very confident and comfortable in front of videos. That's not too many people, maybe 20, 25% of people. You know this is for you, but it absolutely is. But what if you fall into this third bracket? You want to make some money on the side from this. You don't really like social media, to be honest. You don't know why people put up selfies and take pictures of their dinner and show it up there. You just think people are crazy on there. But if somehow, even if you don't have a product or a service or a business, if somehow you could make some money from it and people didn't have to know it was you, you'd get very interested. Type in 3 if that's you right now. Type in 3 if that describes you and your situation right now, because that was exactly how I started. I've written the best-selling book on Rethink Social Media, and still I openly admit I don't even like it. How ironic is that? I don't even like social media, the fact that people spend their entire lives looking at other people's lives, looking at other people's lives. The thing is, it's not about normal social media that we're interested in today. That's thinking social media. We're going to rethink how it works for you in your life, so we stop wasting time and we start earning money right away. And I'm jumping in immediately into the 4-step process. Look how many 3s there are. So many of you are in that situation. Well, fantastic. You are in the right place. Here is the 4-step process. Are you ready? Let's go now. Get your pens and papers out. We don't want to miss any of this. The first and most important step in any business that you set up is make sure you don't make it hard on yourself. Pick a niche or a niche, depending on where you are in the world, where people are spending money every day. Keep it simple, right? Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Don't try and come out with something creative or a new business idea. Business is tough already. Let's go where we've certainty. Let's go where we will absolutely be positive that it's going to work for us. So we pick an area where people have problems every day, and I'll give you some examples of that in a moment. Then we go to social media. Once we're clear on the problem we solve, social media is full of people with problems. I mean, that's what it's about. So in this scenario, that's what we're going to do. We are going to find people with those problems, and then we invite them out of social media and into our database, which is a fancy word for email list, which is another way of saying just getting people's contact details. So we offer something for free so that the right person who's interested in what it is that we do will come and join us in the relative privacy of email as opposed to the busyness of social media. And then we automate the process of how to make money from that. Now, the best news of all here for many of you is that you do not even need your own products and services here. You do not need to have them. If you have them, that's fine, that's great, but you definitely don't need to have your own. In fact, if you only focus on your own products and services, you are limiting your income potential massively, because people don't just want to buy your stuff, they want to buy a lot of stuff out there. So it's much better to open the floodgates and let the money flow into you rather than putting in blockages that there's no need to. So let's jump into finding your niche or niche straight away. Keep it simple, as I said. Let's listen to Zig Ziglar, the world famous speaker who talked about business for years and years, and he says it so well. You can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. Notice the wording, get what they want, right? Focus on others first. Figure out what it is that they want and let's just give it to them, right? Now, what do people want all over the world? Well, you might say they want everything. Well, actually, it's easy enough to boil it down to just 2 or 3 key areas that people want help in. Number one, they want help with their health. Number two, they want help with their wealth. And number three, they want to help with their happiness and the pursuit of happiness. And the best bit about all of these areas is that they are completely addictive. There isn't one pill that solves your health for the rest of your life, right? You need to keep going back for more. The healthier you are, the more you'll invest in your health. The wealthier you are, the more you're likely to invest in your wealth. The happier you are, or the more you want that pursuit of happiness, the more you're going to look for motivational events and books and anything around personal growth and development. Now, in today's world, believe it or not, there's almost $500 million, that's billion with a B, $500 million being spent every day in digital products within these areas. $500 million a day. So if you're wondering how you're missing out on the money that's flowing around right now, it's because quite right now you are the consumer. And I want to show you how to become the producer. So rather than just spending money and making money for others, that you make it for yourself. So pick one of these, keep it simple, only one to begin with. And your first objective, as far as I'm concerned, is to match your salary. Get to a point where you're making the equivalent of what you are today in your salary, because it's taken you a lifetime to get you to where you are today, salary-wise, an entire life. But what if you could match that in just a few months with an online business? And best of all, then you're no longer connected time-wise to your income. You're not restricted that you need to work 40 or 50 hours to make that money. Once you figure out how to do it with an internet business, you can scale it as much as you like. And please write this down. Your income is an outcome of the amount of people that you help. And in brackets after that, write down, not the hours that I work. Okay? So your income is a direct outcome of the amount of people I help, not the hours that I work. And that's the journey I want to take you on, because within 6 months from, not even 6 months, within 3 months from now, you can be in the top 0.1% most knowledgeable people on the planet about how to make money on the internet in just 3 months. The top 0.1%. That leaves 99.9% of society behind, and you know the key things as to what you need to do. So hopefully you're starting to get really excited about this, because in this training, not only will I show you how to do this, I'm going to go into social media and show you practically how you can find the perfect person for the business you have now, or the brand new business you're considering setting up as you listen to me talk about this. So why do we use social media? Not because we like it, not because we enjoy it. We go there because our income is a direct outcome of the amount of people that we help. And social media is full of people, billions of them. Now let's explain the model that we're talking about here and why it is the best model for you to adapt to right now, regardless of what's going on in the economy. We've been told since we were kids that everything we know is going to change. Well, I don't agree with that, because I think you might agree with me if I ask you something here. Do you agree that people will never stop having problems? Anybody agree with me on that? That people will never stop having problems? It's pretty obvious, right? It's kind of a self-explanatory question. People will never stop having problems. So the person on the left-hand side here with the green jigsaw puzzle is a regular person with regular problems. And those problems will never go away, they'll change form. So that's a great place to start. Pick an area where people have problems because you have a business for life. On the right-hand side, the person with the blue jigsaw puzzle here, this is an entrepreneur, a traditional business entrepreneur. The sad news about the entrepreneur in this world is you have a 96% chance of failure. 96% chance of failure. Now, these are smart people. These are people who really were excited about business. Many of them have degrees in business. They've gone to college, and still they've only a 4% chance of success. Well, guess what? I'm not here today to show you how to have a 4% chance of success. I'm here to show you how to have a 100% chance of success. If you want a 4% chance of success, go to college, right? Where there's a big difference between schooling and education, right? This is how you bank on yourself 100% of the time, because people will always have problems, and entrepreneurs will always have the problem of finding people with problems because they're not good at that skill. This gives you an incredible opportunity, because regardless of whether you have your own products or you've none at all, the perfect place to be is to introduce the best-selling products in the world to the people looking for them, and just set that up and make it work. because this gets rid of all of the business problems that most entrepreneurs have. They worry about what if somebody comes out with a better product? They will. What if somebody comes out with a cheaper product? They will. What if a new technology comes out that completely disrupts the industry? It will. So no wonder entrepreneurs find it tough to sleep at night. As Laurie Griner, the lady in the movie Joy, says, entrepreneurs are the only people I know that work 80 hours a week to avoid a 40-hour-a-week job. If you're an entrepreneur, you'll think, amen, that is so true, and it hurts, right? But that's because we're following outdated trainings that have proven the results already consistently. They give a 4% chance of success, right? We want a 100% chance of success. So think about this for a moment. What if you actually realize the products that will make you wealthy, they probably don't even exist yet? Let's say it takes you a month to get your internet business up and running. What do people want to buy in a month from now? They'll want to buy the best-selling products next month, not the best-selling products this month. And if you understand that, that will help you sleep amazingly well tonight, because you'll think, oh my God, I've been overthinking this. I've been making this too hard. My ego's been in the way. I need to step back, get out of the way, and just let people have what they want and count the money, right? Sound good? Sound good? Now, I'm sure some of you are thinking straight away, but Paul, it sounds too good to be true. Prove it to me. Well, I will. With some of the most successful companies in the world right now, they adapt the exact same model. Uber, the world's largest taxi company, Lyft, the world's second largest taxi company, they don't own any vehicles. But Hertz USA has gone bankrupt this year. Think about that. The car rental company has gone bankrupt. The taxi company that doesn't own any taxis goes from strength to strength. Facebook, the world's largest content sharer, doesn't create any content. Alibaba, the world's largest store, doesn't have any inventory. Airbnb, the world's largest accommodation provider, doesn't own any real estate. Booking.com, Expedia.com, Trivago.com, Hotels.com, ironically, don't own any hotels. They don't make any beds in the morning. They don't cook any breakfast. Amazon doesn't write a single book. eBay doesn't create a single product. Banks, they don't print the money. They take money off the first person in the line who's uncomfortable with it and sell it to the person next in line and charge interest to keep them interested in coming back to do the same again. Sometimes the wood is so close, sometimes the forest is so close to us that we don't see the wood from the trees. Type in aha if you just had a bit of a light bulb moment there, where you just started to realize, oh my God, that's so true. Amazon, like the owner of Amazon, worth $200 billion with a bookshop, a book he hasn't written, right? Type in aha if you're getting these aha moments right now, because this is right in front of us and so close that we don't notice we could be doing the same. Funnily enough, if you're buying something on Amazon, you could have made money by buying that same product. When you book a holiday on Booking.com, you could be making money instead of just spending money. When you're buying something on eBay, you could be making money instead of spending it. And I don't mean you need to write a book or create a product or open a hotel. You can just promote their stuff, right? But that's the big question that people have. But if it was this great, why isn't everybody else doing it? We're afraid to stand out. The only reason you're not doing it is because the people around you are not doing it. And they don't know how, so you don't know how. So you get suspicious. But did you know that 99.6% of the planet are not millionaires? So the question we need to ask is not why are people without money not doing it? The question we need to ask is, what are the 0.4% people doing differently so that I can model them? Type in yes if that makes sense, right? Let's ask empowering questions rather than questions we don't understand, as in we can't answer for everybody else, but we can certainly answer for ourselves. Now, for me, this was my position, and I'm going to declare it right from the start. But the internet's a scam, right? That was exactly what I thought. Come on, everybody knows the internet's a scam. And I'm Irish, as it worked out. So Irish people are the most skeptical people on the planet. I mean, the most skeptical. If you don't believe me, it doesn't matter. We won't believe you anyway, right? Everything we're very suspicious of. I mean, I'm sure some of you are Irish here. I'm sure some of you have Irish friends. You might be smiling right now going, oh my God, that is so true, right? Then you add in the coronavirus in on top of what's going on in today's world. Let's just take US stats because everybody's from all over the world here. $2 trillion of a rescue package that's now added on to the next generation to pay. In 2 weeks alone in March, 10 million jobs disappeared. Why do I pick a 2-week sequence? Well, because In 1 month in March, 1 week in March, 6.6 million people filed for unemployment. The worst week ever up until then was 1982, when it was 695,000 people. The reason I'm sharing that, and don't shoot the messenger here, I'm just sharing the message. We've got 10 times worse over a 40-year period, right? So what we need to stand up and realize is, just by waiting for somebody else to come in and be the hero and save the day, that's not going to happen. And if there's any upside in 2020, I hope it's the wake-up call that we're being given, that we're a single flu away from financial ruin, unless we get handouts, right? And again, while people are struggling to keep their jobs and are really, really worried about what they should do next, and the numbers like trillions and trillions of dollars here and trillions of dollars there are being thrown around, I want you to give some perspective about how big of a number that is. 1 million seconds is 12 days. 1 billion seconds is 32.8 years, while 1 trillion seconds is 32,800 years. So that might give you some perspective about how big a trillion is. And this number is $1.6 trillion. This is the US government's #1 asset. Do you know what it is? Outstanding student debt. Outstanding student debt. Look at the numbers. Average university in the US 2019, an average one, $37,000 per year to attend it. For a private non-profit 4-year college, $48,000 a year. The only loan you cannot declare bankruptcy on is a student loan. This is the process that we are sending our children and teenagers through because everybody else does it. But nobody stands back, or very few, and say, this is an absolute scam. $1.6 trillion of debt funding the government when we're teaching children how to get qualifications for jobs that probably don't even exist anymore. The world has completely changed. The average person across the globe right now, in a developed country, spends $600,000 on debt, on interest on debt in a lifetime. $600,000 on interest on debt in a lifetime, right? That's the end of the bad news. I just want to share with you the resistance that some of us have to begin with, like I did, going, yeah, if it's that good, it couldn't be true. But the truth of the matter is, the truth is way worse than what I want to share with you. And we need to step away from it. We need to do something different, because not only are we running the wrong race, we're running the wrong race at speed. Now, that's the end of the bad news. The good news is this. You can decide to take complete ownership on your financial affairs. You decide how much money you need to make per month, and you match it with the size of your email list. Let me explain. If you want to make $5,000 a month, you build an email list of 5,000 people. If you want to make $10,000 a month, you build a list of 10,000 people. And that puts you in full control and full ownership of you deciding what you need to make, and allows you to do something meaningful from that. So what does that look like? Why does it work this way? Because on average, for each email address you collect in your niche, you should be making about $1 per person per month. Now, many of you will have heard that before, but this is very conservative, but it's still a great place to start. On average, $1 per email address per person per month. So if you have 10 people in your list, $10 a month. If you have 1,000 people in your list, you should be making $1,000 per month. But you think you're going to stop there? Of course not. You're going to keep driving on, because look at this. Look at these simple numbers. If you spent $1 to collect somebody's email address, and then you make $1 on average per person per month, that means you spend $1 to make 12. That's an 1,100% return on investment in a year. Now imagine going into the bank tomorrow and saying, hey, any chance I could get 1,100% return on investment per year on my deposit? They'll say, sorry, I think you're in the wrong building. You're looking for the asylum. It's just down the road a little bit, right? They'll think you're crazy. But that's why the likes of me and Tom have been doing this quietly for years in the background, because why would you put money in the bank when you can create incredible returns on investment by investing in your own online business? And you can have multiple independent streams of income, as many as you like, constantly on the go, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If $1 makes you 12, what do you think you're going to do with your next dollar? You're going to scale it up to 2, to 3, to 4, to 10, to 20, until it reaches a sweet spot, and then you add another and another. There's no end. Multiple streams of income from one skill set. So let's be clear. The objective with social media is not to annoy people, not to sell people, not to say buy now or any of those things. It's instead to invite them away into your database. It's to educate them. It's to entertain them. The money is made in private through email. The marketing is done in public. The selling is done in private. So that's also a resistance that many people have, is they look at what others do on social media, putting videos up every day, trying to sell stuff every day, and they assume that that's what works. It isn't. This is what works. Treat people with care. Understand the problems that they have, and let them buy those products. They don't need to be your own. That's part of all. They can be other people's. Now, in case you're wondering a little bit about me, hopefully you give me a permission here for a couple of minutes to talk about my own story and who this guy is that you're looking at right now. Well, I worked in a corporate job for 9 years in a US multinational, the medical device industry. Went straight from school to college, college to a job. Now, my life is very different today. Like, I'm in Cyprus right now. I live in Cyprus half the year. I live in Ireland the other half of the year. I get to fly, COVID permitting, on average over 100 times per year, and I get to share my message and story with children, teens, and adults across the globe. And I can't say it's a dream I've always had, because it wasn't. I never even dreamed this big. But I can tell you, I very nearly could be still stuck in the same role in the same place, because I didn't know any of this stuff was possible. I thought if you wanted to be on the internet, you need to be in business, you need to have your own product or service, or you need to be an entrepreneur, or at least have family members that were entrepreneurs, and you need to be a bit of a geek, and you need to be technical. And it turns out you don't need any of those things, literally none of them. In fact, today, I don't run Facebook ads. I'm not building websites. I have it outsourced. And that's the most important thing that you could possibly learn this entire week is we're not here to teach you how to create a new job for yourself. We are here to teach you how to learn new skills that you can pass over to somebody else to do for you. Type in good if that sounds good to you right now, right? Because you're already busy. Everybody's super busy and getting busier. So we want to teach you skills that you need to implement. We want to teach you skills that you can find someone else to. And you can get people for $5, $6 an hour who are highly qualified to do this, right? In fact, we even show you how to find people like that. And we even give you the training to give to them so they can do it once you understand how it works yourself. Now, how did I get into all of this? Well, fortuitously enough, like yourself, I was invited to an event where there was different speakers talking about how to create income outside of a job. And I even have a picture of the exact day that I was, oh, sorry, wrong. That's a wrong event. Here it is. Wrong picture there. This is me sitting in an event in Dublin, Ireland in 2009. First day I called in sick in 9 years in my job. I borrowed my work laptop, which actually I need to give back at some point. I always think I look a little bit like a rabbit in the headlights because I'm in shock. These guys in shorts and t-shirts talking about how they're making millions of dollars. None of them, very few of them graduated high school or graduated college. They're definitely not the smartest people you've ever met. You can just tell that, you know, they weren't the A students in class, but they're making millions. It was the first time in my life that I realized that wealth and intelligence were not connected in any way. I actually never knew that. My entire life, I always assumed that intelligence and wealth were connected. It turns out they're not. Thank God, says me. Thank God wealth and intelligence aren't connected, but they're not. Now, what I need to tell you is most of the speakers were American. So it was very, you know, hands in the air, everything is awesome, high five your neighbor. They've clearly never been to Ireland because we're not into that stuff. We've been doing social distancing naturally for generations. We don't need to be legally told to do this. We don't drink because we enjoy it. We drink because we need to procreate and get closer to each other in order for that to work, right? But one person said, stand up and massage the shoulders of the person next to you. We're like, are you serious? We don't even touch our own family, let alone strangers. So some people were even walking out thinking, this is crazy. What kind of a crazy thing is this? But one speaker stood up on stage and he'd been watching what was going on. And he said, you guys think you're so smart. He said, you think we're here to brainwash you, but ironically, you are the people that are completely brainwashed. And he explained, he said, you believe that the first 20 to 22 years of your life are to be dedicated to getting qualifications. You're dedicated to it, your parents are dedicated to it, because you both believe that wealth is connected to the letters you have after your name. In other words, your qualifications that you get in college. He said, I found that a much better measure of wealth, rather than qualifications and letters after my name, are numbers in my bank account. And I'll never forget when he said it, because it hit me like a bolt of lightning. Because not only was he challenging some of my beliefs, he was pulling the rug from under me completely. Because everyone I knew, friends, colleagues, family members, we all believed the same thing. But he was 100% correct. If you looked into my bank account, I was 300,000 in negative equity from houses that I bought, 2 houses I bought in the middle of the Celtic Tiger in Ireland, from money that I didn't have. The bank gave the money. Suddenly the houses dropped by 50%. And I'd also lost 30 grand trying to trade without getting coaching. So I was down 330,000. I had all the trimmings of success. I had the car, I had the house. I didn't own any of them. Is what I call rich poor. You look rich on the outside, but if anybody could see underneath the surface or under the bonnet, they'd realize it's all been propped up by fresh air. And that was when I realized the difference between schooling and education. I had spent 30 years learning the wrong things. And you know what? It's a bitter pill to swallow. But the sooner you swallow it, the faster you can start to put down new roots to grow new shoots and new fruits ultimately. So this was my starting point. Well, it's got to be a scam. Then I realized the more I looked at the proof that these people had, that what if I don't do this? What if I actually learn how to sell anything to anybody, anywhere, at any time? And I actually invested in 3 separate programs over the weekend to learn this exact skill. And my justification to begin with was, look, what's the problem? Everybody's in the same boat. The problem is the boat everybody's on is the Titanic. And we're getting deeper and deeper into debt every single year. And we're just describing the water as it comes up around us. And nobody wants to get into the rescue boats to get away as quickly as possible, because we all feel uncomfortable if we're not doing what everybody else is doing. But the reality is most people around the planet are in debt right now. And as Einstein says, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That's why I'm inviting you to rethink where you're at today. Because if you keep doing what you always did, you're going to keep getting what you always got. Today, I really hope is that tipping point for you, that you put on your life jacket and you get into the lifeboat and then onto a speedboat and then get into a cruise ship and get into the horizon, right? Safety, right? Learn and do the opposite of what the masses are doing. If you replicate and take free advice and if you confuse friendship with financial advice, you are in big, big trouble. You need to learn from those who have figured this stuff out. I've made tens of millions of dollars since I started 11 years ago, and anything is possible when you learn these skills. And if you look at the wealthiest people in the world, where do you think most of their money derives from? The internet also. Now, I very nearly, though, didn't do any of this, because when I saw those speakers, they all had this crazy story about how they were born in a hospital, they were mixed up as babies, and somehow they ended up in a reed basket, they were sent up a local river, but luckily they were rescued by wolves, and then they set up a little heroin factory in the forest for a few years, and then a National Geographic TV crew found them and rescued them, checked them into a Betty Ford detox clinic, and then at age 18, they were released. They found Jesus, they found a Wi-Fi connection, and suddenly they made millions. And I remember thinking, God, someone needs to close that hospital. Has any normal person ever made money on the internet? But just so you don't feel left out, I'm going to embellish my story just a little bit, if that's okay. Now, this is where I am from, Limerick in Ireland. I don't know if any of you have been there, also known as Stab City. This is definitely the best angle you can take a picture of the city. There's the river from where I was rescued, the grassy knoll where the wolves raised me for many years, the castle that I now live in. And you might wonder, well, how did it all begin? Well, here I am back in the 1980s, first Holy Communion. Now, I know you're looking at me thinking, God, time wasn't very kind to poor Paul. What happened to him? Well, what do you think happened? I'm Irish. Alcohol happened. Alcohol happened. And if you take the advice of some of the gurus out there and you follow your passion, this is where you're going to end up for most of the 90s or 1990s if you're Irish. But I got lucky, because one day by my trolley, somebody happened to leave a laptop with a dongle connected to the internet, and I went on to make millions, right? The standard story. There you have it. My version of it. But of course, none of that is true, right? None of that is true whatsoever, right? The truth is this: both my parents are teachers. Now imagine that blessing. As you're running home from school each day and you're getting closer to home, you're like, what's the point in running? There's 2 more waiting for me. And they were around every Christmas, every summer. Everything was about exams and study. It never stopped. Even Santa Claus, for some reason, used to bring school books at Christmas. I never understood it. So what did I do? I followed the path that was outlined for me. Go get yourself a permanent job. Go to college. The smartest people in the planet today work for others because this is the path that we followed. The richest people in the world are not the smartest. They're the second, the third children in the family because they fought for everything all the way growing up, right? The entrepreneurs. When it changed for me was at that event. When I said, you know what, enough is enough. What if I don't do this? What if I just keep doing the same thing? In fact, one speaker said this, and it was so profound. He said, hands up if you're in your 20s. And he got everyone in their 20s to put their hands up. And he said, keep your hand up if you're running out of money at the end of the month. And most of them kept their hand up. Then he said, hands up if you're in your 30s. And keep your hand up if you're running out of money at the end of the month. And most of them kept their hand up. Then he said, hands up if you're in your 40s. And he did the same thing, and most of them kept their hands up. Then hands up if you're in your 50s. He said, look around you. You're all in the same situation. And each of you think when you get to the next decade that it's going to get fixed. It doesn't, unless you change the root cause. You stop relying on somebody else being your sole source of income. I'm so grateful every single day that I decided at that event to stick the training on a credit card that I didn't have the money for. And today, as I said, I've gone to make tens of millions since, but I really want this to be your day of destiny, where you decide no more looking back, no more excuses. This can be your moment. And I want to thank Tom, Joe, and Jason for getting all of this organized behind the scenes, because this stuff doesn't happen by accident. And they have set up the exact same scenario for you, that you can decide right now, today, within the hour, that enough is enough. I'm taking ownership. I'm never going to be held hostage by the external environment again, because not only if I have my own stuff can I sell that, but I can sell anything to anybody, anywhere, at any time. Now, no good story would be complete without this guy in it, Tony Robbins. Now, as I went to the first 2 workshops that I paid for, this guy's name came up again and again. Now, the reason I'm showing you this picture is because it's the only picture I've ever seen where somebody else's head is bigger than Tony's. Now, admittedly, I'm about 80 yards in front of him, but yeah, this is me. I went to my boss and asked, was it okay if I went to a conference about leadership skills? He said, sure. He was a great boss. He didn't know it was in New York City on St. Patrick's weekend. So I had an all-inclusive trip paid to New York from work to go see Tony Robbins. Now, my boss didn't know Tony Robbins. I didn't know anything about him either, but I went because people were talking about him. Now, what I didn't appreciate was the kind of audience that it would attract. Remember, being Irish, this created a bit of a problem. Tony came out on stage. Everybody went nuts. And he said, everybody, I want you to jump around like complete lunatics. And to my shock and horror, that was all it took. Thousands and thousands of people jumping around like complete lunatics. And I started backing up and looking for the closest exit. And you couldn't make this up. I bumped into somebody. He had ginger hair and freckles. He looked more Irish than anybody I'd ever seen. We were probably related, in fact, if we talked for long enough. And he just looked at me in shock. And I looked at him and I said, before you say anything, I just want you to know I didn't use my money to be here. He said, forget the money. I've already written it off. This is a cult. This is a cult. I've seen it on the Discovery Channel. Now I know how we're going to walk on fire. We're going to be drinking suicide tablets in a while. And then they're going to pull our bodies across the coals to destroy the evidence. He said, come on, let's just go drinking. It's Paddy's weekend. And while I was considering my option, there was a couple of Germans there as well going, what is this? But everybody else, they were going for it, going mental straight away. And then Tony came up on stage and he said, oh, by the way, those of you not dancing, you're walking on fire tonight. If you don't do everything I say, you're going to burn. I said, well, screw it, Tony. Why didn't you say so? All I needed was a bit of motivation. So off I went, jumping around. And this picture is from the official website of the event. And if you look really closely, if you move your face close to the screen there, you're going to see the exact moment that we touched. And we touched. It was definitely God. My leprosy was cured instantly. And it's hard to say, we just had some sort of a connection that was different to others. He touched me in places that, well, you can't really say that anymore, but I just decided that, wow, I need to quit my job. And that's what I did. It was the craziest thing I would ever recommend for anybody to do, because I just went and I was going to go follow my passion. And I ignored everything else he said, like find a coach who's been there, done that. I said, oh no, that sounds too salesy. So I ignored all of that. But 3 months later, after going to my internet workshops, I started to focus on social media. I knew nothing about it, but I started. Within 4 months, I'd made $10,000 in a month. The next month, that doubled again. The next month, that doubled again. And today, when COVID permits, I get to speak to thousands and thousands of people at a time and sharing my story as the person who sat in the audience, full of skepticism, full of doubt, that realized I was the biggest problem. I was in my own way. That if you just look, there are opportunities everywhere. If you just open your mind a little bit, right? So life transformed quite dramatically. That's Jack Dorsey from Twitter. When we met, I was making more money from Twitter than he was. Underneath that is John Assara from The Secret. We've toured Australia and New Zealand together. And I have many friends from that movie now. When I read it first in 2008, I remember thinking The Secret, that's not for Irish people. No, we don't have goals. We don't do things like that. That's Robert Kiyosaki on the right-hand side, from Rich Dad Poor Dad, of course, and Tony himself, God himself. Now, ladies, you spotted this already, but guys, just to help you out, look at the size of his hand. I don't know how he uses text messages on his phone, but let's just say sometimes you got to know when not to compete in certain niches. So I don't compete in how to have the long-term, passionate relationships. I think he might have a not-so-hidden advantage over some of the rest of us mere mortals. But needless to say, I've been speaking on stage with Tony for almost 5 years now. That's the best Photoshop we can do in creating a big version of my hand. But the reason I'm sharing this with you is not anything to do with being a speaker, or because you can do all of this in private. Nobody ever needs to know it's you. You can create a brand and hide behind it. It doesn't seem to have hurt Starbucks much, or Costa, or McDonald's, or KFC, right? You don't need to be a personality. For many of you, at least 60% of you, you're introverted and you don't want to put yourself out there, and that's what's held you back. You're nervous about what others will think. But guess what? That doesn't matter at all. You create a brand, you hide behind it. So whether you want to be the personality or completely hidden in the background, this works for you. And today is an incredibly special day for me, as you're about to see. Exactly this day, 10 years ago, I set my goal of my first $1 million a year after starting. For the 10th, oh, you can't see it fully there. Let me move my slide again, it might work. For the 10th of the 10th, 2010. There you go. Today is 10th of the 10th, 2020, right? 2020. How crazy is that? Exactly 10 years on, right? That was the first million. And I'm sharing that to inspire you that I didn't know anything about the internet. I had no business experience. There wasn't a single entrepreneur in my family. I wasn't technical. I'm still not to this day. If you saw my setup right now, you'd understand what I mean, right? You saw that the light even fell off a little while ago. You don't need to be technical. You just need to commit that I'm going to learn this. My job today is to push your buttons so that you push those buttons. You already know how to make money online for other people with those same buttons. You just need to learn how to turn it around, right? So, and today, my Rethink Academy, the goal is to empower you to rethink and create an extraordinary life. We have a whole series of books and series on these topics. But for me, what's most important to me is not just teaching you, but also your children and teens. And we have a company and a foundation teaching children and teens across the globe how to become smart about money and about business from a young age, but also how to set some goals. How to learn that money is not just about what you can get, but how you can give to others and help those less fortunate than you. Because I've had 13-year-olds come to my workshop with their parents, like Salman here, who made $190 in 11 minutes. And every adult had the same look on their face in the room. And it was this: you little shit. How dare you prove to us that this actually works? And that's why I've set out to help the next generation too, because as adults, we're always a little bit cynical, a little bit skeptical, looking for reasons why things won't work. But as kids, especially nowadays, they've been born into this world. And we launched the children's training in South Africa last year. We had 55,000 children at our first event. where we were providing free books and free trainings to children all over the world. And why I'm sharing that with you is never underestimate what you can do when you start down this journey. Never underestimate the ripple effect that you can have. And I mean you, not anybody else, you, by just deciding I'm going to press the buttons in the right order from now on. Right? That first time you tried to buy something on the internet, I'm sure you messed up, but it didn't stop you from going back and trying again. It's the exact same with making money for you on the internet. The first time, maybe, the first time tricky, but after that, you know how. And people all over the world have been doing this for years, from as young as 11 years of age to 88 years young. And Runa, for example, made $130,000 in 4 hours. Now, before I go on and share lots of success stories with you, I need to give you full disclosure. Anybody that I share success stories with, they've been through a workshop on how to rethink social media, right? It's usually either 2 or 3 day event. The good news is it is incredible and it is absolutely life-changing. I just finished one literally yesterday and the comments are absolutely amazing and so inspiring. Like, people never see the world the same way again, where they were doubtful and they were worried and nervous about money. Suddenly everything changes. That's the good news. The bad news is that even if you go to my website now, you won't be able to buy tickets for the $597 because it's sold out. We can't do any in-person events anymore, as you know. However, we do teach you in advance of the workshop. Where I'm completely unique is I teach you before you come to the workshop. Not bring you to the workshop and set you loose. No, we teach you in advance that you get everything you need beforehand and be up and running and successful with your business, and then you come to the workshop after that. So some examples here. Janet spent $12 on her first Facebook ad, turned it into $2,100 in 12 hours. In 12 hours. And do you know what she did? She panicked and she said, Paul, that can't be legal. I turned it off. You can't possibly make $2,000 in 12 hours. I said, Janet, you did. You're thinking like somebody who's exchanging time for money, but that's the way the world is nowadays. It's completely possible. Alison, somebody who I've talked about for years because it's just so inspiring, not because she's the most successful, but as a 63-year-old grandmother of 3 grandkids who was working double shifts in an alpha license, or a bottle shop, as it's called around the world. Not an expert in internet either, right? She knew nothing about it when she started, but she said, Paul, I think of it like a cookbook recipe, right? All you need are the right ingredients mixed in the right way and put in the oven at the right temperature. Right? You might have all those ingredients, but if you don't know the right time and the right temperature, it goes in a mess and comes out a mess. She went on to start making over $12,000 plus in a single month from her online business. These are not my most successful students, but they are incredibly inspiring because whatever age you are, it is not too late. It's not an excuse anymore to say, oh, I'm not technical, because the world has changed. That's like saying, I am agreeing that I want to be broke for the rest of my life, right? Nobody is agreeing to that. So we need to open our mind to say, my God, if I can use the internet to come and watch a web class, I can definitely be making money from it, right? The attitude that Alison had and that you need to have is very simple. If someone else can do this, then so can I. And I'm going to show you right now how it works on social media so you can see not just the theory, but the practice of why this is so incredible. But I want you to grab your phone right now. Please grab your phone and take a picture of this. This is a picture of the 9 areas that you need to master your online business. If you can, try and get yourself into the picture. So this will be your before picture, the day that you decided this is going to happen for me, the day you decided to commit to rethinking social media and to stop wasting time and to start earning money. Everything we're talking about here doesn't require any more time than you're already spending on the internet, right? Which is pretty crazy when you think about it. Okay, so just 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3. Everything is focused on the middle point of how to earn money from this and all the various things you need. By the way, it also includes money mindset and time management. These 2 things are critical, right? I know you're busy, so we need to figure that out. Money mindset. I don't want to teach you just how to earn more, but how to keep more and how to grow more. So, quick reminder of what we said so far before we go into social media in depth. What you need to succeed online. Pick a niche or niche where people are already spending money and thousands of products already exist. Keep it simple for yourself. By the way, those of you that are going to be working with me, we will be picking your niche tomorrow. We don't hang about. We pick it straight away. If you're not sure what it is, I pick it for you. Once you pick that, then it becomes easy to find the people or the traffic. Second step is building a list or a database of people's contact details. The third thing is automating the process of making money from this. And the fourth and most important thing of all, and that's why I want to commend you for being here today, is you need support. You need help. That's how I got there. That's how my students get there, because you didn't learn how to read or write or walk or talk or cycle by yourself. You needed a guide to show you the way. Now, some of my clients you'll have heard of: Booking.com, the world's largest spender with Google Ads, Johnson & Johnson, and I charge $12,000 a day to go in and consult to corporates. Why am I telling you that? Because what you are learning right now from me is the most valuable business skill you can learn in the world. Not social media, but how to make money from it, right? It is the most sought after skill right now. You will know within 3 months from now how to be in the 0.1% most knowledgeable people in the planet on this skill. This is how quick this can happen for you. It's taken a lifetime to get you to where you are today. In 3 months, you can be in the top 0.1% most knowledgeable people on the planet on this exact skill. In 2010, I was charging 30 euros an hour for consulting. Today, my one-to-one mentoring is $100,000 and it's booked out solid for a year and a half. Well, just slightly less, actually. It's about 16 months it's booked out for, right? Why? Because once money is taken care of, you don't keep chasing it all the time. I have a young family and 2 young girls, and that's where I'd rather spend most of my time. I assign 2 days a month to mentoring, right? And what else could you start learning today that over a really short relative period of time, you're worth hundreds of dollars per hour? What else? Because if this isn't your plan A, you better have one hell of a plan B. Because I know for me, pursuing the corporate dream, it was turning out into a nightmare. With every promotion, I owed more money. And it just seemed weird. But then I looked around and everybody else was doing it. So you think it's okay, let's just go get drunk this weekend and go back to work again on Monday. Now, let's go and look at the details. Google, we go there when we have a problem. We type in the problem. What shows up? Websites that are selling us problems or solutions. So if you type in, for example, as you see here right now, I want to lose weight, look what shows up. Websites offering you solutions around how to lose weight. But what if I could show you a magical website that when you type in the problem, it didn't give you websites selling you stuff. It actually gave you a list of people who said they just had that problem. Might that get anybody excited? Type in excited if you would love to see a free website that when you type in the problem, it gives you actual people who just said they have the problem. This is a game changer. This turns business around on its head. So you're not being targeted, you're doing the targeting. Well, what if I said it's a social network? And what if I said it's the social network that you would least expect of all? Now, we teach them all. My team and I at Rethink Social Media, we teach them all, but I'm going to show you what one you'd least expect. Twitter. Twitter. It even looks like Google. You type in, I want to lose weight, and look what shows up, guys and girls. Carla, I want to lose weight. Linda, I'm watching the Meerkat Manor. It's going to pop up on your screen just now. Linda, I'm watching the Meerkat Manor. I want the same metabolism as a meerkat. They lose 5% of their body weight overnight and need to eat lots. There you go, in case you thought you'd learned nothing this week. Caitlin, I only want 2 things: to lose weight and to eat. Denise, I only want 2 things in life: to lose weight and to eat. And if you scroll down, there are hundreds more people saying they need to lose weight. All I want in life is to lose weight and gain money. Yet instead, here I am gaining weight and losing money, right? This is, if you were with your friends, this is what you would say. Exactly. Exactly. That's why I don't touch Twitter. It's full of lunatics. All of these people should be committed to an asylum, right? And that's thinking social media. That's thinking the way you used to think. Now you need to rethink. Do you think if this person is willing to share this type of problem with 200 to 300 million strangers, they might be willing to do something about it? Of course. Of course. Now, you're probably getting quite excited, but then the gremlin at the back of your mind says, yeah, but sure, what good is that to me? I don't know anything about weight loss. I don't have any weight loss products. Pause, gremlins, pause, wait. Because here's the thing. You don't need to have any of these products. You want to give people what they want. What do people want? They want weight loss products they can trust. So what do they want? Brands that they're aware of. Like, let's say, Weight Watchers. Well, guess what? You can toddle on over to the Weight Watchers website, sign up to become a partner of theirs completely for free, and they will give you a unique link that you can share with these people. And if they buy anything from Weight Watchers, you get paid. You get paid, even though it's not your product, it's not your company, you get paid. Think about that for a minute. Now, some people will say, but why don't people just go there directly themselves? Have you ever met people? Have you ever met them before? Right? People love to complain. It doesn't mean they always want the solution. They want to complain. But when you present the solution to them, it becomes so much easier. Now, you might ask, but how does that process work? When you go to that website, they'll ask you for your details, like your address, like your bank account details. And you know the way we're trained with the bank account details? Forget it. Stranger danger. I'm not giving that to anybody. The only thing you can do with somebody's bank account details is pay them. The reason they want your bank account details is so that they can pay you. Please allow people to give you some money, right? Give your bank account details to these companies because they want to pay you when they make a sale on your behalf, right? Most of us just quite simply have so many blockages up around us that we can't let any money in. Our blinkers, our biases are blocking the cash flow from coming in. We just need to get out of our own way. So we could literally sell the best-selling weight loss products in the world to the people complaining about it right now. In today's world, you can automate this process. If I was you, I'd be asking, am I a little bit late? Am I a little bit behind? Because Twitter's been around for a while. Guess what? You could not be starting at a better time. Let's take the example of our friend Tony Robbins, who we mentioned earlier. On Twitter, he's got about 3 million followers. When you learn how to run Twitter advertising, look at this. Not only can you get your message in front of his followers, Twitter will allow you to put your message in front of 92.1 million similar looking people to Tony's followers. This is so good, it should be illegal. Whose stuff do you think you would promote to Tony Robbins' followers? I don't care if you have a doctorate in mindset and human psychology and neurology. Nobody cares. They want Tony. You sell Tony stuff to Tony's people. If you're thinking about writing a book, forget it. Sell Tony's books to Tony's peoples, Oprah's books to Oprah's people, Richard Branson's book to Richard Branson's people, Harry Potter books to J.K. Rowling's people. Get out of your own way. Let the money flow. Sit back, relax, and say, what the hell have I been doing for the past 40 years of my life? And it gets better. You tell Twitter, I want clicks directly to my website. Now, don't get confused with a website and what we're talking about. We're talking about a simple opt-in page or a squeeze page. You've seen them every day of the week. Somebody enters a name and an email address in order to collect an email address, right? So that means you get Twitter to put your message in front of whoever you like. Conversion means you only pay when you make a sale. That's if you're sending people to a sales page and you set it up as a conversion, you only pay when you make a sale. Paul, did I hear you right? Is that what you just said? You actually get the money in first and then you pay out later? Correct. As one of my accountants says, he said, Paul, you don't teach business. You teach magic. He said, I've had 80% of my clients, he said, are either gone out of business or going out of business. He said, at the end of the year, if they're in profit, they have a drink. If they made a loss, they have 2 drinks and they keep going. They take out a business loan, they risk everything, they put their home mortgage down as collateral, and they just think that somehow they're going to be in the 4%. He said, but what you teach, there's zero risk associated with it. I said, I know. He said, no, really, I don't think you fully know. There's zero risk. I said, I know there's no risk. Even he has stopped selling his services for time for money now. He creates products. He understands the value. And he even sells the accountancy software that he used to recommend. He now gets paid monthly for recommending it. Type in magic right now if you are starting to see the magic unfold here, right? Type in magic right now because it's going to get better and better and better. You can target people based on the keywords that they use, like I want to stop smoking. I want to lose weight. How do I interview better? How do I get a new job? How do I trade the stock market? What is cryptocurrency? How do I get my child to sleep through the night? You can use add followers. Type in the name of any Twitter account and get in front of their followers. This is totally leveraging. Tony Robbins right now is selling tickets for whatever, $400 for his tickets. You can advertise his events to his people and get paid $100 a pop by him working for you. Now listen to your gremlin going, but why isn't everybody else? Why isn't everybody else? Why aren't you doing it? Because you didn't know this until this exact second. This is not common knowledge. People don't know this stuff. I wonder now why people get up in the morning and go to work when all they need to do is sell other people's stuff to their followers. Sell Virgin products to Richard Branson's people, Oprah's products to Oprah Winfrey's people, tell Microsoft products to Microsoft people. I hope a whole new world is opening up for you right now. You can target people based on the television show they're watching. If there's a football match on, you can sell jerseys to both sides. Now you might say, but Paul, I don't have any jerseys. You don't need to. You sign up to websites of companies who sell the jerseys and you can promote the jerseys to both sides. Right now with the US political debates, one of the most heated set of debates ever, you can sell I love Donald Trump t-shirts and I hate Donald Trump t-shirts at the exact same time to the exact same audience and get wealthy from somebody who you may not particularly like. Are you getting this? I love Biden, I hate Biden. I love Corona, I hate Corona. I love Corona and Trump, I hate Corona and Trump. Whatever it is, the t-shirts exist, the products exist. You are overthinking business. Get out of your own way. Give people what they want. I can see people are losing their, excuse my French, on the chat right now because this is starting to have your brain explode. What if your business isn't doing this? What if you're not learning and implementing this? By the way, who thinks I might be able to help you just a little bit with your business, just from what I'm telling you already? Even if you don't have a business, type in please help right now. If you think I might be able just to help you a little bit, right? I get so excited about this stuff, not about the money, but about what you've been missing out on, because so many people show up to watch something like this, lacking hope, really down and out, really worried about what they're going to do. And suddenly the smoke is lifted and say, okay, I can see people are doing different things to what I'm doing. And this is exactly right. I mean, what if you could just target rich and wealthy people? Well, why not? Let's keep going here. You can target people based on whether they own a home, 23 million, or rent a home, 4 million. You can target them based on the value of the house that they live in. You can target them based on the type of pets that they own. You can target them on whether they're in the market to buy a home. You can target them based on their credit history. Excellent, 11.6 million. When you run out of them, very good, 6.2 million. Discretionary spending, that means how much spare money do people have? What kind of financial services do they use? What type of credit cards do they have? You can even target them by their net worth, 100,000 to 1 million, 1 million plus, 1 million to 2 million, how affluent they are. Ladies, if you learn nothing else this week, affluent single men, 768,000. Men who earn over 75 grand a year, don't have children, and have a net worth of over $250,000. Ladies, you can close down your Tinder accounts. No more swipe left, no more swipe right for you. Straight onto Twitter and find your soulmates. There's lots of them. Take your pick, right? And some of you are asking right now, oh my God, how do they know this information? That's like asking, how does the internet work? Why is the sky blue? The answer isn't going to help you make a single penny. The question you should be asking is, where has this guy been my whole life? How do I start doing this today? Because this is the game changer I've been looking for. Right? Does that make sense, guys? You're getting this at home. It is magical. Actually, who needs this in their lives right now? Type into the chat, I need this now. Type it in right now. I need this now, because you do. You absolutely do. And this is just the first social network. With Facebook, they understand people are lazy, so they even type in the email address for the person. The person just clicks the button once, they click the button twice. $1 per person per month, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's spit appearing on the screen here. I'm getting so excited. Apologies for that. 2 clicks. They don't even need to type in their name and email address, right? It's unbelievable. You either get targeted or you do the targeting. Very simple. That type of ad, by the way, is called a lead generation ad, in case you are running Facebook ads and you haven't started using this, right? Incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible. And the news gets better and better and better. Not only this year has more money been spent on the internet than ever before, ever before. Ads are cheaper than they were 3 years ago because small businesses have been closing down across the globe. There's less competition. If you had started last year rather than today, you would be at a disadvantage. But today, we all know this is not going to happen the way it happened this year again. This is a lifeline that you've been handed. If you've been looking for the upside in all of the problems going around right now, this is it. The fact that ads are so cheap right now that you can get started at a fraction of what it would have cost you just last year. And not only that, this is the first year I can ever say, hand on heart, you do not need to spend a penny on any technology, any software to get an entire business up and running today. I've been speaking at World Internet Summit since 2011-12, I think. And this is the first time I can ever say that. Everything you need technology-wise to set up your business is free. Free. I mean, who loves free? The only cost to your business is ads. What an incredible opportunity. No risk, no downside, because all you need to start off with, guess what? For Facebook, less than $1. For Twitter, 1 cent. How much can you lose with an ad with 1 cent? Right? It's a trick question, right? How much can you lose with an investment of $1? Right? You don't lose anything because you learn with every ad. And then you scale it and scale it. This is world-changing, life-changing, I hope, for you. By the way, I do have Facebook and Twitter advertising training online. It's actually 3497, not 3997. I'm going to recommend you don't go there now and buy it, because I'm going to do something incredible for you before we wrap up in the next 20 minutes here. Now, Instagram, the fastest growing social network at the moment. One of our coaches, we met on a beach in Fiji. He was a teacher in Manchester. He's quit his job after coming to my workshop. He made $26,000 in a single hour, which is more than what he made in a year as a teacher. He even brought his mom with him to the workshop, who was also a teacher, who just could not believe this. Facebook Messenger, Vishal came to the workshop, quit his job after it. He made $55,000 in 3 hours with Facebook Messenger. Once again, you either get used by these tools or you use them to create wealth. It's your choice. And it works for absolutely everybody, because all you're doing is giving people what they want across the globe. If you think you're too busy right now, all you need is about half an hour a day. Alfred here works 60 hours a week as a medical professional. He sent a message on Skype saying before the workshop, hey, Paul, making over $200 in a single day now, $200 in a day. Before, when the workshop came around, it was $350 per day. That's $127,000 per year on the side of your job, right? This is designed around people who are busy. This is designed around people with full-time jobs or full-time businesses. It's just a small piece of time you need to carve out either each day or at the weekend. James, over $2.5 million since starting in November 18. I mean, who would like even just a fraction of that? No wonder this guy is smiling, right? Who would like just even a fraction of that? In fact, who wants these kind of results in their lives right now? Type in, I want this now, into the chat. Let your conscious, your subconscious, your unconscious know that this is what you've been waiting for. You are ready, and I'm going to promise you everything you need and want is included in this program. You won't need to look anywhere else with me. Everything is here. Remember, we start, I'm going to tell you now, tomorrow. I pick your niche for you. We get up and running straight away, right? We always get going straight away while your momentum is at its peak. Now, the bad news is if we have a waiting list in place, but the good news is we get started straight away with the training. You get everything you need before we start. So that's niche, that's social media, and I'm going to skip over these two very quickly because you're going to hear about these a lot over the coming week. The squeeze page or the opt-in page. Super simple to do. The software exists today that's completely free to create these. If you're nervous about being technical or not being technical, we even build it for you, right? And the fourth step then is the products. How do you make money from all of this? How do you get in front of people who really want to get what it is that you have? So again, if you have your own products, this will work for you. If you don't have your own products, this also works for you. If you want to appear in public and out there, this works for you. If you want to be hidden in the background and nobody ever knows it's you, this also works for you, because I've been through all those stages myself in my business. But the question then becomes, but how do I sell other businesses' products? I've already talked about Weight Watchers, right? But did you realize anything that you can buy on Amazon right now, you could be making money from that exact same thing. Anything that's on eBay that you could buy, you could be selling. And I don't mean buying in products from China and putting them in a warehouse. No, I mean literally any book, your favorite book that's on Amazon right now that you haven't written, you could recommend that to somebody else and make money from it. products of famous experts, events like Tony Robbins, which I mentioned earlier, or you just promote their stuff to their people. Later, you can create your own, of course, as well, but get the money in first. Take the pressure off. In fact, I promise you this, you will save more money in the next year than you'll invest in me today just by being smarter about how you spend money online. Because when you spend it, you should be making it in most cases, right? Imagine that. You will save more just by changing your behaviors from what I teach you. That's in 1 year. What happens next year, the year after, the year after? What happens when you share with your family, your peers, your kids? In fact, if you're booking a holiday, you'll be making money. If you're buying anything on Amazon, you're making money, right? Suddenly the game changes. You realize that you just didn't know what you didn't know. And that all changes. But we're not here just to save you money. We want to show you how to make life-changing money. How could you make $600 from a single sale, or $1,800 from a single sale, or $4,000? Imagine getting an email that says, congratulations, you've just made $4,000. I mean, how many of them would you need in a month to get excited and for it to change your life? Not so many, right? If you got 3 of those a month, 12,000 a month. Well, you can do that, and my students do that by just promoting me. Because when you're happy and comfortable with something that you love, first thing you want to do is recommend it to somebody else. But what if you can get paid for that too? Well, that's exactly how it's set up so that we can support you doing matchmaking yourself. Because for me, it's the best business model to be in. So when I wake up in the morning, I don't wake up and check social media. I check how many sales happened last night. So one of the programs we have is online. It's completely digital. There's no workshop with it. There's no interaction with it. There's no help center in it. It's just a membership site that people can access, and they pay for it yearly. And each of these, you'll see $997, each red circle. That's a lodgement into the account. So you wake up first thing in the morning, and this is what you start to see. Now, do you think you would need to drink much coffee in the morning to put a pep in the step? If every single one of these 997, 997, 997, 997, 997, 997, 997, 997, you never get tired of saying 997, by the way. Right? Who would like their mornings to begin like this? Right? Absolutely. Right? This is exactly how your morning should begin. This is how, like, day by day, June 13th, for example, mid-corona pandemic, 17,000, June 12th, 20,000, June 11th, 23,000, June 10th, 26,000, June 9th, 10,000, June 8th, 5,000, June 7th, 19,000, June 6th, 9,000. It doesn't matter if it's the weekend, weekdays, keeps on coming in. Last 7 days, 204,000. Last 4 weeks, 500,000. Last 12 months, 1.5 million in this account. Last 7 days, 98,000. Last 4 weeks, 408,000 in this account. Last 12 months, 1.1 million. And again, I'm just showing you this detail so you can see it. July, 232,000. June, 241,000. May, 578,000. April, 493,000. February, 329,000. Again, you can keep playing the lottery, or you can listen to people who say it's a scam, the internet's a scam, don't touch it, etc. And they go straight back themselves. And what do? They go help get somebody else rich. Not for you anymore. Because you know what a scam stands for? It stands for a systemized cash accumulation machine. And everybody needs one in their lives. Don't get into an argument on it anymore. Everybody needs to have a systemized cash accumulation machine. Just smile when you hear that next time and say, well, let them keep continuing to spend and help other people get rich. It's time you turned the whole thing around in your favor. The difference between where you're going to be in 3 months from now and today all comes down to step 4, right? Ongoing support. How were we educated, right? We were given schooling, we were given questions to go and answer. We only did our homework if we got in trouble, right? That's the only reason we did it. And then we wonder why now we're just not happy with our lives and the results we're in, because literally we've never been shown, like we show a child to read or write, we've never been shown that with money, how to grow it. We've been shown how to spend it, right? But that's how we're expected to make a living. I want you to understand none of this is your fault. The entire educational system is a couple of 100 years out of date. Right? You followed the system and the system has failed you. But the good news is you followed the system and you showed you got the results that were expected. Now it's time to learn a new process. And guess what? It's not going to take you a lifetime. 3 months from now, you will be in the top 0.1% most knowledgeable people in the planet about how to make money on the internet. You have a skill for life. Because the one thing in your favor is this. Everybody goes online to think about what they can buy. you're going to be thinking about, what can I sell? It's a very different attitude, one that will make you wealthy, the other that will keep you from money your entire life. What you are earning today is a direct result of what you know right now. But what you learn from today with me is what's going to get you the results you want from now on. You already know, if you like my style, I teach with humor. All of this is fun. The whole social media thing, I even think it's a bit mad, right? But you don't need to understand it all. You just need to know how to press the buttons in the right way, just like I did, right? The secret to success is not a secret. If you just read any of the books of your favorite musicians, your favorite authors, your favorite business people, your favorite sports people, the secret they all have is they have a coach. They have somebody that shows them how to get there, somebody who shows them how to get to the finish line rather than focusing on the obstacles. And that's what you need to. You need to climb up on the shoulders of giants. I got lucky that the zebra stayed up there for so long. And just look at what somebody else has done and replicate it. Just copy it. Just do exactly what they're doing, so you can finally set yourself free from all your financial woes and troubles and problems that you might have had. Please make a note of this more than anything else you've taken down so far. We have a date to announce for you right now. We offer support, coaching, and mentoring. Please take down these dates right now. November 26th to 29th. I am running a 4-day summit. Personally, I'm running it. The in-person ones, my coaches run. I am running this. You do not need to fly, get on the train, get in the bus, get in the car. It's from the convenience of your own home. If you've got a funeral on those dates, cancel it. This is more important than death. November 26th to 29th. It nicely starts on Thanksgiving Day. We start on Thursday evening of Thanksgiving. If you are obviously celebrating Thanksgiving, we'll get you a recording of that day. That's no problem. But November 26th to 9th, other dates will be announced for 2021, but you have to get in right away today. Now, I haven't put up a link or anything yet, right? I haven't put anything up yet because it's first come, first served, and you are all, I wanted to keep it fair that you all know exactly when to go at the same time, first come, first served, okay? Because we cannot accommodate everybody here. Why? Because I'm personally running this. I answer the questions. It's me you engage with. It's me you ask the questions of. And best of all, everything we talked about in that picture you took earlier is going to be included in there. So not just how to create an online business. And that's what's exceptional about what I teach. We don't just cover that. We also include, how do you free up the time to actually do this? Because that's the biggest challenge most people face. Well, I've written a best-selling book on just that topic. How do you actually believe that you can make this money? Well, guess what we do? I'm a qualified financial advisor, and I'm going to go through exactly not just how to earn more, but how to keep more, how to grow more, and exactly what you need to do from a money, time, and business perspective. Everything covered in 4 incredible days coming this November for you. Okay, this is the first time I've announced these dates, so specifically for Tom, but I need you to know the sooner you get in, the better this is going to be for you. By the way, you know already from listening to me that mindset is something that's crucial to my beliefs around what makes you successful in business. When you join and pay in full today, you get my magical mindset training completely for free. It's online for $19.97. That is yours free. I'm telling you that now before it gets a bit panicky and you're trying to get your credit card details in and your name and email and address in time. This is yours when you pay in full today, right? My gift to you. Just before we wrap up, a couple of last things. Luke here. Hey, Paul. G'day, Paul, Australian. So here's my update. I've been sticking to my actions. Here's my monthly update. I earned $7,000 last week. It's going to be over $8,000 for the first time next week. Who would have thought this was possible just a few months ago? I've already paid my parents back for the loan. They think I am selling drugs. LOL, that's why I love sharing that story. He sent me an email more recently. Hey, Paul, hope all is going well. I made over $100,000 worth of sales in a day. Loving the journey. We had a catch up in March. He told me for the first time that when he came to my workshop, he slept in the car outside because he couldn't afford a hotel. Guess what he made last year? $2.3 million. And I can tell you one thing, this guy is not technical. Never underestimate what you can do by pressing a few buttons in the right order and making the right decision at the right time. Today, there's a very simple decision for you to make. I'm going to take away any single risk you're even thinking about right now. There is going to be no risk whatsoever in you joining me today. There's going to be literally no risk whatsoever. The only risk if you were to define any, is the risk of not doing this, right? Because you must do this. The world is showing everything to you that you need to learn how to create your own income that doesn't rely on anything outside of you. And I'm going to take away all your risk because I am the student who sat in the crowd, and I know that that was what I wanted. I wanted to feel like I was doing something that only had upside, and you do. Salmon, $190 in 11 minutes. A 13-year-old, Kiane, has a new record, $13,000 in 2 days. This is literally child's play. You just got to get back into that mindset of, I can do this. I can press some freaking buttons. I know enough to press some buttons in the right order. And again, I'm helping children and teens across the globe. 5 million is the goal in the next 5 years to shape their destinies in a completely different way. Because what if we could get rid of money problems? Imagine all the knock-on effects that come with that, and removing poverty, crime, violence, etc., drug use. Well, don't ever underestimate, like I say, what you can start to achieve when you start to learn how to set up an online business. When I started, this was not my goal. I didn't even like children. Let's be clear. My goal was to become financially free. But when you start to make money and see the ripple effect you can have, it's incredible the difference you can make. The question I have for you is simple. Type in, I'm ready right now. If you were saying, you know what, I am so ready for this. No more looking back. No more complaining. No more crying over spilt milk. You've only got between today and the end of your life to live the most incredible life you can possibly live. You owe it to yourself, and you owe it to all the generations that came before you. Because if you don't fix your money issues, problems will stay like this forever. Type in, I'm ready. If you are ready to step up and say, this is it, this is happening, no more screwing around. I know I can press buttons. I'm on the computer. I'm on it freaking long enough to know that I'm making other people rich. It's your time right now. It's your time to shine. So here come all the I'm readies. Fantastic. Well, what are you ready for? Here is your official invitation to come work with me personally. This is the number one way for, I believe, a student or a client is to learn from somebody who's been through your experience, has come from the state of, I'm not sure, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I'm technical enough, I don't have a product, I don't have a service, what's a niche, what's a computer, right? Well, we start tomorrow, Sunday the 11th, 5:30 GMT, 6:30 British Summer Time, 1:30 Eastern Time, right? That's if you can make it live tomorrow, or alternatively, you can come Monday the 19th, the same times, right? If you're watching something else here tomorrow, I don't want you to have to step away from that. You can absolutely come on Monday the 19th. But we are starting tomorrow. Niche chosen, delivered by me in person. It will be recorded, so you can get this afterwards anyway. Plenty of time to implement your actions before the workshop. Those dates are specific to November 26th to 29th. We'll come back to them in a moment. But we give you everything you need, including 4 drip-fed web classes before those dates. So you have everything, all you need to create that business before you come to the workshop. That's total value of $997. 2, you've taken a picture of this. You've seen it 3 times already. This is going to become your new wall chart for success with your online business. It will completely transform your life, regardless of if you have never opened a Facebook account or whether you're already running ads. Regardless of whether you've no products and services and no experience, or whether you have your own products and want to be an expert, it is still designed around both of you, right? I know this because I've been through it myself multiple times, that particular route, and I know how this could work for everybody. 4 days is the workshop. You've probably worked that out from the dates. So instead of the in-person for 3 days, I'm doing an extra 4 days, and we're running it in over a weekend to give you the opportunity that you don't have to take or you take very little time off work. 4 days with me in person. Number 3, the opt-in page I mentioned earlier. If you're nervous about your technical ability, we will build this for you. Now, of course, we'll teach you how to as well, but we'll build this for you. Number 4, the thing I am most proud of with our organization is our help center. They're all students who have come through like you and have decided they want to be part of the Rethink Academy. They love being an entrepreneur, but also been part of a bigger community, because we are here to empower you to change your life. Very simply put, our customer satisfaction rate on average is 97%. That shows you how much time, care, and attention we put into you. In fact, the last 4 weeks in a row, we've had 100% customer satisfaction with over 450 tickets every week. We cover it 7 days a week. We've 11 full-time staff in our help center. 11 people, 7 days a week during normal day work hours, right? Why do I do this? Because I want to give you exceptional service, because that was what was missing for me as a student, okay? So you will not get any better support anywhere. That's not the point. With me, you will get the best, okay? I want you to know we will hold your hand through the process. Our average client is 52 years of age, the average, right? So if you're thinking you're too old, forget it, right? If you're already on this, you are young enough to know that this is the future. That's the present, in fact. Number 5, you get lifetime VIP access to all of the trainings you need, from Twitter, Facebook, all the different social networks like LinkedIn, how to rank your video on the front page of YouTube in 60 seconds, how to blog without writing any of your own content, how to build your email list to match your salary, how to find the best products to sell. What do you sell? How do you choose them? How do you write emails without being comfortable in doing that? How do you find other people that will do it for you? And how do you find somebody who can actually do all of this for you and outsource it to them? And we actually will give you permission to allow them to access this too, right? That's a total value, lifetime access for $12,997. And that's just one of these things. Now, I just want you to be clear. I don't want anybody to feel overwhelmed. We're going to drip feed this to you in the lead up to the workshop. We'll tell you exactly what to do in the web classes. We tell you what to follow along. You have this forever. You don't need to do all of this stuff, but I want to give you more than you'll ever need, so you feel like, okay, I've got enough here to do for quite a significant amount of time. You don't need to do it all, but I want to make this the most appealing offer that you're ever going to see. Number 6, Facebook and Twitter ads training that we have online for $3,497. I am going to include this for free in the membership site, okay, so that you can know exactly what to do with ads. People have made 10, 20, 50, 100 times back what they've learned with these ads, with these particular teachings that we have, right? Just with this alone. Number 7, this is a Skype chat that I had with a student who I taught how to run webinars. Now, I wasn't going to include this, but I decided, given the pandemic that we're facing right now, that some of you probably would like to know how to run webinars, because like me here today, it's a great way of conveying information to people who are interested in it. Well, let's read the Skype chat here. He says, hey, Paul, I've got much to share with you since our last conversation. I did a $300,000 webinar since then. I have one this week that will do $500,000 easy. Paul, this is all thanks to you. I tell everyone about the chat you gave me and how I went from making one sale on a webinar to $100,000 the next day. You changed my life, man. Other than that, business is great. He made $900,000 in 6 hours. The average person in the UK spends $1,100 per year on lottery tickets. It's more in the US. It's $3,500 per year in Singapore. The family spend on lottery tickets. For what? Hope. Hopium. And then what happens? You lose it all. As I said at the start of this, the difference between a dream of winning the lottery, the goal of making this kind of money, is putting a plan in place. Let's not put this down to luck anymore. Let's decide, I'm going to learn how to do this. I'm going to put these steps in place. By God, I can see more people are spending more money every day on the internet. It's time to take my share. I'm including my webinar wizardry training as part of this, as an additional bonus, because it's only available to you through this Rethink Social Media program. You cannot buy it online. This is what's going to show you how to take this to the next level and how you can make literally tens of thousands in a single hour, right? Cannot buy it anywhere else. I decided I'm going to include this as part of your program anyway, just to make this an absolute no-brainer for you, so that you can just decide, okay, just for this alone, that you can sign up to my entire program. Number 8, I'm so certain on your success, so certain, that I want to make sure that you absolutely know that any questions you have, any queries that you have, we are here personally to support you. We are going to give you live coaching calls in addition to everything else. I'm telling you, you won't get anything like this anywhere else, right? 3 live coaching calls where we walk you through the process. We hold your hand. Any questions we answer. We simplify everything down to your level. No soldier left behind. Total value of this is $1,997. We even do this after the workshop to even support you beyond that. Okay? So as I say, we are going to, whatever way you're thinking about this, we have it covered. And especially if you've got kids and teenagers, we are going to start showing them from next week how your child will learn a money management system that they'll never need to worry about money ever. We're going to teach them how to take advantage of compounding straight away. They will learn how to set up their own online business in 24 hours. That will be making, just wait for the slide to come up. There we go. They can be making money from within 48 hours from now, from when they start. That includes you, the adults, right? This has a ridiculously conservative value of $997 because this is life-changing for your entire family. Of course, share it with the rest of your siblings. This is how you can completely change their lives starting immediately. So let me recap. The live call starting tomorrow. 4 web classes drip-fed to you before the workshop. The 4-day workshop in November, at the end of November that we're leading up to. The opt-in page done for you. A year's support from our help center at 97% customer satisfaction. Lifetime access to all of the trainings that you need. The Facebook ads and Twitter ads training, right? All there for you in there, included in the membership site. The webinar wizardry training, which is worth more than your entire investment 5 to 10 times over, included as a bonus. 3 live calls and 6 other bonuses that won't even fit on the screen here that you'll see when you sign up. Now, you better be getting ready right now because I'm about to put the link up and you need to, again, just know you're in competition with people all over the world right now. And we have the children's half-day recorded online training for you. Total value, $37,000, 956, strange number. I remember 2009 when people were showing these total values. Didn't make any sense to me. Still doesn't to this day because nobody buys these things individually, right? I want to show you what the value of this is for somebody who's paid for this entire package. The real value is exactly that. When we launched this, it was run in a hotel in Heathrow in London. It was a 2-day workshop and the price was $9,497 plus $127 per month. That is what this is worth in terms of real value. Now, where you are in luck with Corona and where it is your friend for once is I don't need to book hotels. I don't need to fly there. I don't need to fly 8 of my coaches over to support you. I don't need to pay for their hotels for 8 nights or 5 days in the hotel for everybody, all their meals, their food, their flights, etc. And I'm going to pass on all of those savings directly to you because you cannot miss out on this opportunity in 2020. It will never come again that ads are this cheap. It will never come again that so many people are spending so much money online for the first time and really interested in this. This is your opportunity right now. It works for absolutely everybody. It's pressing buttons in the right order. And I'm going to make this absolutely irresistible for you because instead of it being $9,497, I'm going to discount this really, really heavily for you, right? Not just 20% off, not even 40% off. 60% off would bring it to $3,997, which I have sold this package with a 2-day workshop in World Internet Summit in the past, right? But things have moved on now, as I said, and I do not have the costs associated with it I used to. So we're not going to give it even that. We're not even going to do 80% off. For those of you that go right now, I am going to give you over 90% discount. You get everything I just said for $997, all included, when you go to ClickSeminars.Live/Paul. ClickSeminars.Live/Paul. Don't put in a .com or anything like that, guys. It's ClickSeminars.Live/Paul. Go now. You are in direct competition with everybody else, and I'll explain why. This is what you're getting. $8.5 grand discount, everything included. November 26th to 29th. If those dates don't suit, no problem. We'll be chatting to you tomorrow about that and find you dates that suit in 2021. Now, when you get in right now, I'm going to give you the opportunity to work directly with me. You're going to have the opportunity to upgrade. Now, those of you already jumping in, just go in, fill out your details, just half listen to me because you're going to get everything I'm going to talk about, right? Just focus on getting that correct. Those of you that jump in right now, if you would like to upgrade to get a call with me directly, well, again, I told you I'm $12,000 a day to go into a company and consult, right? If you'd like to upgrade, you can do. You'll be given the option once you purchase for an extra $1,997, okay? Now, think about it. You don't have to do this. This is if you just like to really have a chance to talk to me, for me to personally understand what's going on in your business or the new business you're thinking about, what challenges you're thinking about, the hesitations you might have. But as you'll have seen today, when you ask for my help, I can literally make this worth 10 to 100, if not more times this investment just by having my personal touch on whatever it is that you're doing, because I look at hundreds of different businesses every single year, what's working and what you can do. Right, so you have an option to do that. Okay, it's an option. But as I looked at this, I was chatting to Tom about it. Tom said, can you do something more? He said, look, they're my people. It's ClickSeminars.Live. People want this to be incredible. Is there anything you can do? I said, okay, I can do something on it. I can discount it and make it more appealing to people. So what I'm going to do is this. For those of you that are paying right now and getting in right at this very moment, by the way, congratulations. I can see the first of you coming in. Those of you that are getting in right now, I'm going to include it for free. I'm going to include it for free. When you pay in full right now, you get a call with me for free. No time limit. As soon as we've done the workshop, we'll book it in with me and you and my help center. Whenever it is, no time limit. This year, next year, the year after, as long as I'm on the planet, this call is yours. Use it when you feel you're ready for it. This alone is worth more than your entire investment. Yes, this is included in your $997, right? But you need to go right now, make sure you pay your $997 in full, and if you're getting in right now, you're going to get this included. I told you I was going to make this a complete no-brainer and there would be no risks whatsoever. So you can fast track your results, you can work with me directly, I'll get to know who you are, what you're about, and how we can go to where it is you want to go. As if you needed another bonus, but I'm going to give it to you anyway, as I said, because I want you to know you have more than you ever need right here. Who would like to bring a guest with them for free to the workshop? Type in guest right now into the chat if you would love to bring a guest with you to this workshop. And ideally without spending a single penny, right? Bringing somebody that can support you on the journey, somebody who you know will be supportive, energetic, that'll be so excited to be able to do this with you. Well, guess what? If you get in right now, 2 of you are coming to the workshop. 2 of you are coming to the workshop when you book right now. This is why I said it's first come, first serve, because with every booking, there's 2 spots, right? So they get a $5,997 ticket to the workshop. They come with you either separately in their own home, if it's Corona permitting, or with you. It's up to you. ClickSeminars.Live/Paul. 2 of you coming to the workshop, 4 days with me together, me personally answering your questions. This is what you're going to see when you get in there, guys. You choose the option on the left, the pay in full option, if you want that one-to-one with me. So ClickSeminars.Live/Paul, and then you'll be given details to sign up. We'll be sending you an email with this, your registration link for Sundays. Tomorrow's call is 6:30 UK time, 1:30 Eastern US time, or wherever it is that you're in the world. Okay, so look out for that email. It'll be your registration for that. If you can't make it tomorrow, it'll be recorded, or you can come live on Monday week. All your choice. Okay. Bonus 3. You're saying, what? More? Paul, I'm already in. Guess what? You're going to get this too. If you're on the fence, I don't know why you would be. This is for you. The number 1 rule in investing, as Warren Buffett says, is never lose money. Well, I told you, you're not going to lose any money. You're not going to risk anything here. The only risk is you not doing this. I'm going to show you how to do this with absolutely no risk. I'm going to give you back your entire investment today, your $997, when you just do one simple thing. Your first money back guarantee. Yes, your first, which implies there's more than one. Your first money back guarantee is this. You recommend this training to 2 people. We'll sell it to them for $997. They'll get everything we talked about except for the one-to-one with me and the 2 people coming to the workshop. They'll get everything else in the program, which is an incredible deal for them. It's super easy for us to sell that, right? When you refer 2 sales, I will personally wire you back the $997 you invested today. And I'm also going to remove any time restriction on this. If you do it next week, give your money back already. If you do it this week, your money back already. If you do it the week after, no problem. If you do it next year or the year after, no problem. I will personally wire you the money back. Why would I do that? Because for me, matchmaking is everything. When you understand that you can have me working for you, you're going to say, I much prefer this business model. It's so much easier. And I'm also going to add something in here that I've never said before. I will continue to honor this for as many referrals you ever bring to me. and I'll give you 50% commission on every single one you bring moving forward. So you could literally just promote my stuff, this product, for $9.97 as long as it's available, and I will pay you back 50% of that every single time. So you could literally make tens of thousands of dollars by just promoting me moving forward, right? And that is included as part of your program here, just with that alone. I am also going to add a second money back guarantee, because I really, as I said, I want everybody here to know there's only one risk today, and that's not doing this. That's the only risk you're taking. And here it is. I am going to give you 14 days to change your mind. Even if you do, you're going to get onto the 3 coaching calls. We'll walk you through how to make up to $4,000 from a single sale. I'm going to give you my Blogger Bonanza training. Total value of $1,997. You're getting $2,000 of training and live coaching for free, even if you change your mind in the next 2 weeks. I cannot be any fairer than that to you. I hope you understand this. I understand your mindset when you're in the beginning, you're worried, you're nervous. I'm telling you, when you get started, you'll see this is for me. This is what I've been looking for, right? And if you change your mind in those 2 weeks, no problem. Have your money back. I don't want to keep your money if you're not going to do this. It's in my interest to make you successful. That's why we provide so much support, so many live calls, because the more successful you are, the more successful our company is, because you drive our success. The older you are and the more successful you are, the more you'll inspire people just like you to do the same. So you have 2 money back guarantees. Recommend the training, will pay you back and continue to pay you commissions. Second one, change your mind in the next 2 weeks and you still get $2,000 worth of training for free. It is a complete no-brainer, and I'm going to add in, because I've got about 5 more minutes left, I'm going to just keep going with bonuses. Warren Buffett also says that the best possible investment you could ever make is in yourself, because that's the best and most important investment you'll make in your whole life. Well, guess what? I am going to allow that person that you bring to the workshop, I'm going to allow you to invest in them. And by that, I mean they will also get access to the training. They get everything that you did. Right? They jump on the same one-to-one call with you, but everything else they get. That means 2 for the price of 1. You know what that means? You're paying less than $1.37 per day for a year to learn how to become financially free for the rest of your life and have somebody on the journey with you. That is less than a cup of coffee anywhere in the world right now. And of course, if you're a business owner already, this is a write-off against your company. This is a marketing cost, right? This is what you'd use to learn how to run your ads. If you're not a business owner, don't worry. At least 60% of you are not. We'll teach you in the workshop the importance of going down that route, because that will save you a fortune. Are you worth $1.37 a day? Right? You know you're worth 1,000,000 times that. So invest in yourself, because right now, most of the money we spend every day are in things like coffee and electricity and things that we just need to buy over and over again. This is your number one asset, what's sitting between your ears. If you had learned this 10 years ago, this day was the day I made $1 million for the first time, right? This is your day. This is your starting point. Exactly 10 years to the day that I made my first million. This is not a coincidence. It's perfect timing. I really hope you got that picture of you looking at me, looking at you earlier, because this is your before picture. 2 of you doing all of this. If you need a payment plan, I can see some people are asking about that. Click on the option on the right, and there's a 3-pay plan before you come to the workshop in November. If that's the only way in, that's what you do, because remember, you're getting access to the training right away and getting you started straight away. And then we'll send you a link to register for tomorrow's training or Monday weeks, depending on what you do, but it will be recorded. Okay, so here is a link, or the picture of the certificate again. And remember, just recommend that the 2 people will make the sale for you, job done, right? Now, obviously, there can't be people on the call right now, because that's kind of cheating the system. Here's everything for you, all in one convenient place. $997 for everything. The pay in full bonus for working with me is the first 19 only, so make sure you jump in right now and get in. I am nearly out of breath here, because I just know I cannot do any more from you. There's absolutely no risk whatsoever. The only risk for you is if you don't do this. It's all upside. Even if you change your mind, you get $2,000 worth of training for free. Plus, you just recommend 2 people, you get your money back straight away. And you can continue to benefit from that. Not to mention all of the various ways that we're going to be teaching you how to create in a super simple, step-by-step, drip-fed way, lifetime access, right? The best help center support you can get that's out there 7 days a week, 11 full-time people in there who've been through the program, who are doing this day in, day out. We're here to support you, right? Just give yourself the permission to back yourself here. Invest in you, and you can bring a person with you. If there's anyone on the fence, I'm going to say one last thing. I don't know why you are, but I like that you're really looking for a bargain. There's a bit of Irish blood in you somewhere. So the last thing I'm going to add in here right now, and this is exclusively for you online, live right now, because it's 10 to the top of the hour. When you join right now, not only are you getting the one-to-one you pay in full, and you can bring 2 of you are getting everything for the same price, 2 for 1. I'm going to allow you, and this is COVID, because of COVID, you can bring a second guest to the workshop. So if you were wondering, do you bring your husband or your child, or your wife or your child, right? Or which child, or your business partner, or a friend? You don't have to choose anymore. If you get in right now, you're bringing 2 guests. This is why I said first come, first serve, because I'm reserving 3 seats for each of you. 3 working together is so much better than 1 by themselves, right? And that's what I want to set up an environment for you here that you feel like, oh my God, amazing. Never going to see anything like this again. You're right. Plus, please, for that second place, give it to someone who really needs it. If someone's down in their luck right now with Corona, or they've been furloughed, or they didn't get their job back, or their business has gone under, I'm telling you, they will be grateful to you for the rest of their lives after the 4 days live. It will completely change their lives, money-wise, time-wise, business-wise. We're going to rewire, we're going to rethink. Regardless of where you're at right now, it's irrelevant. Regardless if you have no experience whatsoever and you've never even been online on a web class like this before, doesn't matter. Maybe you're a ClickBank affiliate for years and you've just come on because of the sponsorship and it's the first time you've heard of me. You are going to absolutely love this. It's going to take your business to the next level. I want to one more time thank Tom, thank Joe, thank Jason, thank Mike, and all of the team here at ClickSeminars.Live for giving me the opportunity not to have to rush and share this with you over an hour and a half, that give me an entire 2 hours, which includes some Q&A time now. If any of you have any questions, guys, please ask me. I'm one of you. I was a student, went through the process. I've never stopped being a student. I continue to go to workshops and take the best that I can learn and relay it straight back out to you. You are going to absolutely love this, more than you'll ever need, but take it step by step, okay? That's what we're going to do. We're going to hold your hand every step of the way. No such thing as a stupid question. We're here to support you. Over almost $100,000 worth of value for $997. Everything's included in that. Any questions, let me know, Mike. And I need to just get my voice back here. But thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate the comments, by the way, as well. Any questions, here's your chance. Please pop them in and ask me. And I'll do my best to answer them as best I can.
Thank you, Paul. What an amazing presentation. And it's so true. What you can do online, especially with connecting with people through all the social media outlets, is just phenomenal. And I learned a lot, and I hope everyone else, I'm sure everyone else learned a lot. So we're so happy that you were here and you're able to present. And I don't see any burning questions, but I do see things like this, Paul. John says, I'm in. So that's what we want to do. That's the way you do it. Paul told you why you need to do this, but there's no way in this amount of time you can tell you exactly. That's why you want to get this program. And you do that by going to ClickSeminars.Live/Paul. So Paul, you sound like you're a little dry on your throat there. Why don't you rest a little bit and come back and see us later, and we'll look. We're getting people saying thanks a lot, Paul, and most entertaining presentation I've ever been on. So you're getting all kinds of kudos. So thank you, Paul. I'm going to dismiss you and let you go get some rest. And
can I just have one last comment? Can I just have one last thing? Just one last thing.
Okay.
I want to congratulate all of you that have already got in. a huge thank you to you. Remember, you've got no downside here, all upside, right? There's absolutely zero risk associated with this except not doing it. So whatever you're thinking right now, you need to be jumping in and doing this, because even if you change your mind in 2 weeks, we give you your money back anyway, right? That's just to show you how much I believe in you and I believe in this. Secondly, we are going to be live tomorrow evening, and if you can't make it, it's totally fine. We'll have a recording for you. Thirdly, we drip feed everything to you step by step by step. So there is no question of you not being able to follow it. We have the best customer support, 97% customer satisfaction over the past few years that you will have access to. You've lifetime access to all of the training, right? You get to talk to me personally with a one-to-one with no time limit on it. And when you recommend it to 2 people, you get your money back. And from then on, you get paid a 50% commission. It is the no-brainer of all no-brainers. I wanted to set it up in that way so that it's just too easy to say yes to. If you've any trouble getting in or paying, I've left an email in the bottom corner, Mike. That's what I forgot to say. support@leftclickrightclick.com, or if you need to contact, ClickSeminars directly, I'm sure Mike will pop in an email, or Jason will in a moment, or Joe, so that you can contact them directly if you've had challenges with the payments. There's a lot of people trying to get in at the same time. Thank you so much, Mike. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the seminar, and I'll see you tomorrow evening.
Okay. Thank you, Paul. By the way, if you have any challenges, any issues whatsoever, you can email info@ClickSeminars.Live. And so here's where we are right now, folks. We've got a couple of little things that I want to share with you. Once again, you go to ClickSeminars.Live/watch, and you'll be able to see the schedule of who's coming up, which, by the way, the next speaker is coming up in about 2 hours' time, 1 p.m. Central here in Nashville, 2 p.m. Eastern on the Eastern United States, 11 a.m. West Coast, and 7 p.m. UK time. And you want to be sure to remember that there are advantages of being in the VIP club. You know, one of the advantages is you'll have 30 days access to all of these recordings when the event is over. 30 days that you can go back and watch these presentations over and over and over again. And then you'll be invited to the VIP coaching session Friday night after the last presenter, which I believe is Armin Morin. So definitely check out the VIP. By the way, we are sponsored by ClickBank. Go to ClickSeminars.Live/ClickBank. Check out the wonderful folks at ClickBank. One of the first affiliate commissions, and one of the first things I ever did was on ClickBank over 18 years ago. They've been around a long time. They know what they're doing, and you definitely want to check them out. So I'm Mike Stewart for ClickSeminars.Live. We'll be back with Mr. Paul. Let me look at my notes here. Simon Coulson is going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UK time, and we will see you at the next session. So thanks for coming to ClickSeminars.Live.